everyone, and welcome back to Clothesline. My name is Oren, and this is our Clothesline Raw review entitled 5 vs 5. In case you don't know, here's how it goes. I'm going to talk about 5 good things that happened on this week's Raw, and I'm going to talk about 5 bad things that happened on this week's Raw, give the show an overall review, and then I'm going to give it a score between 1 till 10, and there's even a 0 if the show was a complete catastrophe. So let's start things off with the good. Looks like we got a few shakeups when it comes to this Sunday's Elimination Chamber when The Miz announced that he's removing himself from the Elimination Chamber match. That of course led to a match between The Miz and Kofi Kingston. Now if The Miz won, John Morrison would get his spot. But if Kofi Kingston won, he would get Miz's spot. And I have to say, these two guys gave us one hell of a match. Great match, nice back and forth, and in the end, Kofi Kingston is able to beat The Miz, and he's in the Elimination Chamber. Looks like they took out The Miz and put Kofi Kingston instead. Apparently, WWE Creative is watching this show. So it looks like we're not gonna get a Raw Women's Championship this Sunday as Lacey Evans announced she's pregnant. And yeah, I know, it botches the storyline. Too bad for Lacey Evans' push that I think would have led to her winning the Women's Championship, but none of that matters because she's pregnant, so mazel tov. After a week of hiatus, we got the return of Alexa Bliss, who announces The Fiend is about to come back. And I'm guessing by the eerie marks, he's coming back as Satan? Or as a demon from hell. Either way, Alexa Bliss has made her presence known tonight as she interrupted Randy Orton's match in the gauntlet and causes him to be counted out in his match. So the mind games resume yet again. And I can't wait to see the new incarnation of The Fiend. Hey, look at that! Nia Jax was on Raw and he didn't even make one comment about her bomb. That's a good point. I'm so glad we got past this and we can focus on this rivalry between Lana and Naomi against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. It's not much, but at least it puts some focus on the women's tag team titles. Last time we had a gauntlet match with these stipulations on the line was about 3 years ago, and that match did not disappoint. And once again, we get an outstanding performance by one of the participants in the match, and this time it's Drew McIntyre. Let's talk about this entire match as it went along. It started off with Kofi Kingston taking on AJ Styles, and they had a good showing. There was a point during the matchup where almost choke slammed Xavier Woods over the barricade, and Kofi confronted him. Wait, now I want to see a match between Kofi and Omos. But in the end, AJ Styles is able to prevail over Kofi Kingston. He pins him and he continues on. And the next guy up was Drew McIntyre. Now I really thought that this was going to be a fast one, but no, these two guys also had about a 5 to 10 minute match, and a good one nonetheless. But in the end, somehow Drew McIntyre is able to prevail, hits the Claymore on AJ Styles, and he advances. The next man to enter the match was Jeff Hardy. Now I also thought this was going to be a fast one, but no, this was another 5 to 10 minutes back and forth encounter between both men, and another good showing by both McIntyre and Jeff Hardy. And then after Jeff Hardy attempted a Swanton Bomb which got blocked by Drew McIntyre, McIntyre once again eliminates him by hitting the Claymore. And that brings us to Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. And this was the most surprising one because here Randy Orton goes to the outside, he gets distracted by the many Alexa Blisses. Alexa Blisses? Can I say that? And he gets counted out. And that is something I disagree with. I mean, you made Orton look like an idiot. If he would have tried to get back into the ring and then get Claymored and then counted out, that makes sense. And then the final entrant in this gauntlet is Sheamus. And again, I thought this was going to be a fast one, but no, they also fight for a couple of minutes in another back and forth good one. But McIntyre misses the Claymore, Sheamus hits the bro kick, and he wins. And he becomes the final entrant in the Elimination Chamber match this Sunday. And I don't really like this, because I can see a situation where McIntyre overcomes the odds in the chamber and then beats Sheamus. But I would rather see both Sheamus and Drew McIntyre start the match off, eliminate everyone else, and then go one-on-one. I just think it tells a better story. But no denying, Drew McIntyre's performance tonight was outstanding. So those were the good things, but there are also some bad things. This is more of an overall bad point. It has been over 500 days since Kofi Kingston was eligible for a rematch or a title shot at a world championship. 500 days! And yet, he still gets his shot before Big E. You know, Big E, the guy you pushed away from the New Day when they broke him off, the guy you said you want to push to the main event scene and then made him Intercontinental Champion. And yet Kofi Kingston, 500 days after losing the WWE Championship in 8 seconds, gets his rematch, a title shot at the world title before Big E. That is just mind-blowing. I'm not saying Kofi doesn't deserve it. I'm actually happy that Kofi finally gets his chance. But seriously, all this story about Big E breaking him off from the New Day, pushing him off to the main event, and then Kofi gets a title shot before him. I'm just feeling sorry for Big E. I'm actually think he's really happy being Intercontinental Champion, but still, if you're gonna break him off from the New Day with that goal in mind, making him a main event status, and why not make him a main event status? How come he's not in the Elimination Chamber match on Sunday? Adam Pearce, I told you, I have this thing about consistency. You have to be consistent when you're telling a storyline. Here's my problem. So you have the whole debacle between The Miz and Kofi Kingston. Kofi states he is a former WWE champion, so he should be eligible to enter that chamber match. Miz, who tries to push John Morrison into the match, claims he's a former ECW champion. Excuse me, an ECW world champion. And apparently has no problem with that. And later on in the show, when Braun Strowman asks, hey, how come I'm not in this chamber match? Adam Pearce says, hey, you were Universal Champion, not WWE Champion. How come you even took under consideration John Morrison as an option? Consistency, that's all I'm asking for. This one's a bit of a minor point, but you know that Oren promo he did tonight on Raw? It just seemed to me it was the exact same promo he did when he faced McIntyre about 2 weeks ago. Just rehashed. So Braun Strowman is talking to Adam Pearce about not being included in the chamber match when he implies that he might go after Shane McMahon. I don't like where this is going. Don't tell me we're getting Shane McMahon against Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. Oh no.
Oh no!
I can see it now. Braun Strowman throwing Shane McMahon off a 50-foot high stage. And our fifth bad point has to go to Mustafa Ali. Get it? You had bad weather, there were logistic problems. But come on, you could have made an effort and had Mustafa Ali send you a video. You could have aired it on Raw, thus continuing his feud against Kofi Kingston. Although I do hope Mustafa Ali will interfere this Sunday in Kofi's match. And yes, I know it will be devastating for Kofi not getting that title shot, but if this helps to develop his feud against Mustafa Ali for a match at WrestleMania, I think it's worth it. Overall review of the show, we could have seen there were a few problems with people not showing up, and because of the weather and other problems, and there might be a few changes to the Elimination Chamber card on Sunday, with Lacey Evans being pregnant, Mazel Tov by the way, and not be able to participate in her match against Asuka. Also, I heard there's a problem with Keith Lee and he might not be able to participate on Sunday, but still, I think they had a good showing with the Gauntlet match. I think it was a good build towards the Elimination Chamber match. So overall, it was a show I enjoyed, even though the limitations, I'm going to give it a score of 6.5 out of 10. And that is our review. Now we would like to hear from you. Let us know in the comments below, do you agree or disagree with our score? We would love to read your comments. And also, if you want to stay notified when I'm uploading these videos, hit a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button, and I'll see you next time on another Clothesline review. Thank you for watching.